Hello folks, welcome to the Land Timber Stream. I've got this ghost effect going again, sorry about that. I will fix that in a moment. Hope you're having a good Thursday night and that all is well. It's Friday Eve, so that's always good. Let's fix our defaults here. Okay, better. Hopefully. Yeah, I noticed yesterday there was a lot of ghosting going on. Sorry about that for the video quality. But anyway, we are talking about some switch security features tonight. And 46 days to go until New Year's Eve. Yeah, that's right. That's 46 days left in the year. And the last day of this year is when I'm taking the next CCIE routing and switching written attempt. So I'm going to be ready for it, hopefully. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm feeling a little tired. I've been going pretty hard. I've been going really hard. So I'm looking forward to next week. We've got some time off for the holiday and got some plans for that. So I will not be studying on the holiday. I am going to take a little break, and much needed break. But we're going to keep going hard until then. Keep taking advantage of the days we have left. And I am now looking at these target dates and hoping to still catch them. The 30th, which is, about 2 weeks away. I still have 4 is done. I'm on 5. I've got 5 and 6, which are pretty intense. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but we're going to try. And we're going to continue to do flashcard reviews. We'll do a few at the end of this streaming session. And then December 10th, I'm going to start reading the Evolving Technologies Guide. I now have access to that, thanks to my acm.org membership, which comes with the Safari Books Online membership. It also includes, by the way, a number of other materials, which are really good. Then we go into review mode until the 31st. So I should say now through, and then 11:30 through 12:10. That makes more sense. And then through 12:31. So yeah, then we'll do some review. Duke for him, how are you this evening, sir? I hope you are doing well. I have not had a chance to see if you responded to me yet on Twitter. Duke for him and I are helping each other out, getting ready for exams. He has one just a few days before I do. You did reply. Okay, good. Let's see what you said here. Oh, this gives Cisco and APC examples. You have to install Mimic and endure that SMB can find it, then call it. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to take a look at that in a minute. Yeah, we had some discussion today about SNMP, and I just gone over that. So, dude, for him, quite with flawless timing, asked me a question about SNMP today that I could not answer correctly. So we're going to look at that, and we might even do it here on stream. Who knows? But yeah, we're continuing to forge down. So we are right now in infrastructure security, which of course is section 5 in the blueprint. These I completed after the stream yesterday. I stayed up a little late and did device security control plane protection. I did VACLs, storm control, and now we are on DHCP Snooping. I did not lab all of these. I did lab control plane policing, but today we're going to start back with DHCP Snooping. And where we are on the outline, I will show this to you here. Yeah, DHCP Snooping is where we're at. I've already read some of this. But yeah, network security. So I'm almost halfway through. Well, so you've got 2 sections, right? You've got device security and network security. And we finished device security already, device access control, control plane policing. That was a small section. This section's rather large, however, and we have switch security features, which I'm on now. Then we have router security features, about as many. First hop security, IPv6, a lot of that good stuff. So we're moving at a good pace here. I'm going to have to keep moving, though, because we've still got QoS. We've still got NAT. FHRPs, we still got IPSLA NetFlow. There's so much left to do in infrastructure services. So I really need to finish this section. I need to finish this section by the end of Saturday, to be honest. So we're gonna move through here at a good clip. I'm kind of weak on DHCP snooping, so we'll probably do a quick lab on that. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think we will, because we already have a topology pretty much ready to go on that. So that's where we're at. I hope to get through snooping, IP source guard, ARP poisoning, hopefully tonight. Then do a little bit of review, and we will keep on moving here. So this is the same lab I used yesterday for SNMP. And we have actually a NAT cloud here. This goes to a PNet interface on EvenG server, which is acting as, we actually have DHCP running on EvenG server. So this is going to go to our switch. This comes in really kind of perfectly for our topology for the lab here. And this, by the way, folks, a lot of labs I'm doing right now. I've been doing INE. I'm now currently doing a lot of networklessons.com labs. These are not my own labs. I do vary them up. I do switch them up a little bit. But if you want to actually see the lab configurations and the instructions and the explanations and the outputs and the videos, definitely check out networklessons.com. I highly recommend it. And I'm just vlogging my journey here, and me sort of poking through some of these labs, trying to get the concepts. So yeah, this is going to sort of act as our central DHCP server, and any device on VLAN 1 actually that's configured for DHCP will forward a DHCP request, and the DHCP offer packet will come through the NAT cloud into the switch here. So we should be able to capture here. We should be able to control it and implement security here. So the configurations should be pretty basic. I'm just going to go ahead and lab it up here. And we're going to use, I think, what we have, because, let's see, I think router, probably all three of these devices are going to make DHCP requests. Yep, so let's go ahead and boot it up. And it usually does that. I found also this issue not just in EvenG, because earlier today I was actually playing a little bit with my local EvenG Pro, and I loaded a couple images in there. I loaded Cumulus VX image, and I loaded the Ubuntu image just because I know I'll want to use them at some point in my EvenG lab. So I went ahead and loaded those up. But I noticed the viral image pretty much has the same problem, in that it does have sometimes problems. So it's not just Community Edition. This happens on Pro as well. That sometimes the nodes don't start right away. And also, oftentimes the interfaces on the router image, when they start, they do not start, they start shut down. Even though the startup config has, no shut. But I'm not sure why that is, and I would love to find a fix for it, but we'll see. Let's move this screen. I may come back to this screen because I may at some point introduce the Windows VM that I have here in this environment. I was thinking about making it a DHCP server, but I think we're fine for now, just doing this. So let's move this to the main screen. Which do you feel you give more bang for buck between INE and network lessons? A good question mark, Milo. Good to see you tonight. I have to say that it's interesting. I don't know. Let me take a rain check on that question, because At least for the workbooks labs. Exactly. So this network lessons is not really designed as a workbook. Um, it is more like a lesson book. So it is, if you go to the main page, they have courses, and it covers more than just IE, CCIE, right? Like INE's material does. So they have CCP switch, CCP route, T-shoot. They have the CCIE route switch written and then CCIE route and switching. So the following lessons are useful, especially for the lab exam. So I haven't looked through any of these yet, to be honest. I've only been doing the written. And in terms of that, it's interesting because it seems like some of these lessons overlap into different courses. Like I have found that some of these lessons are referenced in the CCNP and the CCIE. Not many, but I've found at least a few. So I can't really judge their workbook yet. I will say, so INE also has a written video series. There aren't any labs, but they have a written video series. And they have the lab advanced technologies workbook, it's called. That's really intended to prepare for the lab. So I've done about half of the lab workbook in INE, and I really like it. But I will say, in terms of preparing you for the written exam, I'd have to go with networklessons.com for sure. Like in sheer terms of volume, the amount of material, and the fact that they don't just give you videos, but they give you a lot of written explanation, and they give you labs to do to prepare for the written, to get your hands dirty, right? So for preparing for the written exam, I would definitely recommend networklessons.com. Now for the lab, what I have heard to prepare for the lab is really you need more than one workbook. The INE is really good. I've heard people use it, but it has like the same topology, and you get really used to the same topology. And essentially, once you do a lab once or twice, you've taken most of the value that you can get from doing that lab. So to prepare to do well at the written, you really need multiple workbooks. So I know a lot of people end up buying Micronics and INE, at least the workbooks. The course here, the lab course, I haven't even really touched it, so I can't speak on that yet. Makes sense. Perhaps we can revisit the question a few months after your written exam. Yeah, absolutely. But I can definitively say that it is so far the best for preparing for the written. It is not complete, though, I don't think. Like, there is a lot of material here for the Evolving Technologies Guide, but I think you also need the boson material. I think you also need access to a number of books. So you need 400 books online. It's not just one thing. You also need to read a lot of Cisco documentation, to be honest. So yeah, no one provider that I've seen so far has everything that you need in and of itself to prepare for the exam, at least in my opinion. Some of them might actually disagree with you, or they may have students who that's all they used. So it's probably more shortcoming on my end, but anyway, hope that helps. Let's get these guys booted up, and they will go ahead and get a DHCP address, of course. Well, the interfaces are going to come up as offline for router 1 and router 2, so that's fine. But what we're going to do is go back to the configuration. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Okay, so we're going to do the configuration here on switch 1. Okay, everybody is up. And we're going to look at configuring the switch. There is a command here. It's talking about by default, switch will add option 82 to the DHCP discover message before passing it along to the DHCP server. Some servers don't like this and will drop the packet. If your client doesn't get an IP address anymore, what is the option 82? I forget which one that is. I actually have this in the drill sheet, a listing of all the DHCP options that I need to be memorizing or reviewing more often. Let's pull that up and look at all these options. Relay agent, okay. Interesting, so the switch automatically adds this, apparently. You know, let's take a look at that. So let's bring, DHCP can be such an interesting and eccentric, let me call it that. DHCP can be a very eccentric protocol to work with. And let's, all right, we got window. I get window paralysis here sometimes. So many windows when managing a stream. All right, get rid of that. We don't need that. Let's put this over here. Okay. And I'm still missing something. I'm missing something here. Okay. I am missing my Eve window. That's the one I closed. Okay. So it looks like the switch adds option 82. I want to actually see that. And it looks like it might do this. So let's look prior to enabling DHCP snooping. I want to see what it sends along here. Oops, I always forget that. We have to hit the IP address for the wrapper to work properly. Yep, every day I get a different IP. Which in my case, it's actually, when I'm streaming and stuff, it's actually a good thing. Okay, so now let's do a capture. And what we're going to do is bring up the router, one of the router interfaces here. And just see what it does. Okay, this really hurts my window paralysis mode here. It's the thing, it really is. And let's bring up an interface on R1. Interface GI 00, I believe. Yeah. No shot. All right, there's our DHCP. Don't know why I did not filter the display filter. DHCP FO. Okay, so here's Discover Bootstrap protocol. Wireshark still does Bootstrap. I thought they had changed that. And do we have any options? So there's a Discover message. Wait, option 53. Okay, hold on a second here. First of all, let's look at it's 300 bytes. Interesting. So not a small packet or frame. It actually is an IP packet, isn't it? It's an IP source 0000, destination is a broadcast. And the protocol is UDP. And we have boot request. Your client, next server, relay agent. Magic cookie. All right, I see option 53, 50, 12, 55, and 255. I do not see an option 82. Okay, it still does not have, oh, you know what? I wonder if this, all right, this is a question I had, is do we have to prime the Eve and G server? It looks like we might have to, doesn't it? Okay, we do. Darn it. All right, so it looks like we have to do this. I even created a separate file to do a fix-up on the Eve and G server. That's kind of a shame. But I should be able to add this. Oh man, this is too many windows. All right. No, I did not want to do that here. I'm glad that did not work on my machine. I thought I was pasting this. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to this, which is way over here on this screen. Just a pain. Okay. IP address, add. After I do this enough times, I'm going to figure out how to make this run on boot up. Actually, I should do a script. Yeah, let's do that. So, nano Eve and G start.sh. Yeah, let's do that. And how does it go? I think it goes. Right? And let's see, change mod plus. Oh, shoot, I forget what this is. Well, I'm root, so. Nope, change mod plus R. Windows, work with me. Bash script, change mod. Oh yeah, it's change mod to ARW. Nope, don't want you. You're junk. Here we go. Plus X. Okay, I knew that. So we're gonna change mod plus X. RTNet link. Who the heck is that? Oh, because I did the IP address add twice. Okay, well, let's see if that worked. Let's do a shut, no shut. Slayer Darth, hey guys, how's it going? It is going well, man. It is Friday Eve, so that's always good. Thursday night. And next week is going to be a short week for most of us here in the US of A and other countries. So that's always good. And I got an IP. Okay, so how do I make this? How are you doing, Slayer Darth? Hope you're doing well. Ubuntu bash script at startup. I'm good. That's good to know, man. A simple command could use an upstart job. No. Make it. Tell me what I want to know here. No. You'll have to use sudo access though to edit this file. Got Android Studio updated. Built my first Android app, but using VM. Okay. Huh. All right. Good luck on that. You can use systemd unit of type. So this is not a real simple question to answer, apparently. This doesn't work, that doesn't work. You all told me to do this, it never worked. You needed to create a systemd startup script and place it into, you can add a script example to the script below. Launching bash script. So there's no easy answer on this, apparently. Make your script, copy your script to this folder. Invoke update RCD with. This will add your script as the last thing to run. There are ways of tweaking around. Should you want to remove the link to your shell script from the startup list? Oh, I could do this in my profile. That would probably be better. You will, for example, find out that should a bash profile or bash login file exist, profile will not be executed. These two bash files don't seem to be present by default, so use a profile. Okay, so let's look for those. Oh, shoot. So many windows. I want to die a slow death from multitudinous windows being open here. I'm getting window anxiety today. I don't know why, but I am. I have no idea what this is. It's really odd. All right, anyway, so if we do this into bash, do I have a bash profile? I do not. I do not have a bash login, so let's edit this file and add our commands in here. Why don't we do that? Oh, this needs to be my script. That's right. There. So the script will be, where's the location of my script? Okay, here's evengstart.shell. And folder is, okay. And we need to edit this actually first. I think that's the format. Oh, shell. Okay, execute my script. All right, let's do that. Execute evng NAT cloud enablement script. Okay, so let's put that in our profile here. Update the permissions. And now nano. Put this in here. And we should be good to go, hopefully. All right, so what I'm going to do is, because this hasn't worked out yet the way we want, I'm just going to shut this down and reboot the server. It won't take long because, and these servers reboot quickly in Azure, to be honest. All right, close lab. Didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. Too many windows. Window management problems. Close this. Yes, please terminate. Would not want you to do anything else. Close these desktops. And go back to Azure, and we're going to restart this machine. Yes. Okay, let's see if we get the same IP. Should be interesting. Probably not. Probably a different one. Okay, so agenda. Close this. Agenda, we're gonna stuff this window away somewhere out of the way. Okay, good. And this can go over here. All right, now let's see what we've got on our VM. Successfully restarted. Can't tell if that's a different IP or not. I don't really care. It's the same. Okay. All right, move this window somewhere else where I can. Okay, that is from the cache. Okay, so let's see if we get a. See if our little script worked. That's pretty fast, though. See how fast that machine booted? I mean, rebooted and Eve came up. I mean, geez, that's really quick. That's way faster than on my local VM. Well, not way faster. It's pretty fast. It's a good bit faster than on my machine. That's one thing that Azure does well, man. stop and start machines. It's kind of like VMware, VMware hosts. It's quick. Okay, so this guy, wow, he's already back up. He should get an IP address if DHCP is working. Still kind of booting up. Let's boot router 2, or not boot, but let's console. Okay, this always takes a minute. It's kind of the same problem. Really, any of these, where the server works, it's a good 10 minutes to reboot. Once it is booted, it is fast. Yep, see, we don't have really a quote-unquote, we don't have a host operating system to worry about here in Azure, you know. I'm sure there's a host somewhere, but you don't manage the hosts. They do, and you never see the hosts. Unless, you know, I don't know what they're running these VMs on, to be honest. I don't know what their underlying infrastructure is managed by. They have their own, you know, they have their own proprietary hosting system. Yeah, this always takes, and this is why, for some reason, this could be QEMU, or QEMU too, whatever, however you say that. It may not be a shortcoming of EVE-NG software and UNet Labs. This could actually just be some sort of shortcoming of QEMU and how it works. But somewhere something really has an issue. Like on first boot, bringing up the network interface. I don't know why that is. And it doesn't matter if it's a viral image or if it's a, like this, so Ubuntu. Yeah, it always does this. Now, if I shut it, now once this comes up, and what this is doing is this is like provisioning, see if I do if config, so it's provisioning these interfaces here, and for some reason it's just like up down, like it's kind of annoying, but I don't know why it does that. It's not even these PNet interfaces, which like 9, that's the cloud interface we're using, right? Yeah, it's just really strange. These VUNLs, I don't know what those mean. Digital vinyl XOX, not what I was looking for. Yeah, none of these include VUNL, which is really what I was looking for. But yeah, I'd like to look at some point more into that. Like, how is it provisioning the interfaces? And why does it struggle so much? There we go, finally. All right. Yeah, it gets on the struggle bus and it stays there. Okay, so did it get an IP? Yes, so our little procedure works for our Ubuntu, for our EVE-NG instance here in the cloud. Awesome. I'm glad something worked out for me here tonight. All right, so we got that going, and we want to see a successful capture of these packets. So let's turn this on again. and see if we can see the option 82 that Network Lessons is talking about. It's claiming that the switch will add option 82 when it acts as a relay. Okay, yeah. All right, let's get these junk windows out of the way. And okay, we're capturing good. Now let's bring up the interface. Let's open the interface on, and what is this window? Oh, this is another like spam window over here from the wrapper. Shut. Okay. We should see it pretty quickly get an IP address when DHCP is working, which it should be now. It should pop up pretty quick. There it is. Boom. And over here we should see DHCP faux, whatever that means. Is that like the noodles you get pho at the Vietnamese restaurant? DHCP faux. It might be family of protocols or something. I don't know. I don't know what DHCP faux is. It sounds kind of, it's making me kind of hungry right now though. Okay, I don't see an option 82. So by default, the switch will add option 82 to the DHCP discover message for passing it along to the DHCP server. That is not the case unless that is being done after turning on DHCP snooping. Milo, I would figure you would have to configure option 82 instead of it being automatically enabled. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like IP helper, right? I could see that. Oh, it looks like that's from, okay, so let's see. Let's go to the switch. And we're going to turn on DHCP snooping. IP DHCP snooping VLAN 1. Snooping. So according to this, I have to actually hit enter here to enable it. So I turn it on the VLANs first. I turn it on for the VLAN that or VLANs that I want. Then I turn on the IP DHCP snooping. And I also have to trust this interface. I think by default, no interfaces are trusted. So no offer. Let's test that theory. Let's go to router 2. Which is configured for DHCP. So we should see another offer. Yeah, this is pretty useless, the DHCP FO, to be honest. Like, is there another display filter we can use? So here's obviously protocols DHCP. Does it not allow me to select? I'm a little baffled by that. 67. There we go, UDP, that works. Okay, so it looks like the switch is not going to send any DHCP discover packets. It's not going to relay them at all. I'll bet if we captured on the other interface, we would have seen that. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and configure a trusted port. Let's shut this interface down. Back down. And let's come over here, and the trusted port is going to be GI00. Interface GI00, IP DHCP Snooping Trust. Okay, so now let's come back. Just did a quick, and you would have to enable it. It appears that when DHCP Snooping is enabled, apparently when it inserts it automatically on untrusted ports. Okay, let's see. Okay, now we have a discover. So this is on the other side. So this discover message is what will be sent by the switch. And there it is, agent information on. Okay, all right. And what does it have in here? The agent circuit ID. Okay. An agent remote ID. Okay, well, what you can do is, let's see if that worked, because it says that some DHCP servers will freak out. No, this one had no problem with it. Okay, Mark Milo, which would make sense since all ports are untrusted by default. So would a trusted port not have DHCP option 82? I don't know, but what it does say is that if you're, you can turn that off. So you could say no IP DHCP snooping information option. Allow untrusted. Oh, so not use it. Or you can change the format. So if we take that off, let's do a shutdown. Okay, DHCP discover. Okay, yeah, it does not have it. Okay, so that's how it differentiates. Interesting. That's how it differentiates trusted or untrusted ports, I guess. But we've got it turned off. Cisco PMP, vendor class identifier. Okay. Cool. What we want to do too, another feature is this rate limiting. So let's say, okay, we're fine, but let's go ahead for extra security and put a rate limit on. Do not do that, please. Trolling. It's trolling me. Look at that. It's worst command ever. Worst quote unquote feature ever. See, I don't always remember to do that, so. So annoying. The trolls, the router trolls are embedded deep. All right, so what we're going to do is on this port, which is really GI0 1 through 3. What I would do is IP DHCP snooping limit rate, and here it says 10. What does that mean exactly? Oh, number of DHCP packets that interface can receive per second. Okay. So just, you know, it's a nice way to show IP DHCP snooping. And as we can see here, DHCP snooping is enabled, gleaning is disabled. What is gleaning? Gleaning helps extract information. What is it? Oh, okay. When they're forwarded by a DHCP relay agent, the process completely passive snooping that neither blocks. Oh, okay. So it's just gleaning the information. Read-only DHCP snooping functionality. Only DHCP version 4. When you enable DHCP gleaning, it does a read-only snooping on active interfaces. So I could see that being used. Actually, I see that be pretty useful. Before you implement DHCP snooping, you could sort of put the feature in place just to observe and make sure that when you turn it on, you're not going to have any problems. You can add a secondary VLAN to private VLAN. When adding a secondary VLAN to private, ensuring that gleaning is enabled on secondary, even though by default. Okay. Interesting. All right, so create on these VLANs, operational on these VLANs, create on the following L3 interfaces, none. Insertion of option 82 is disabled. Aha. Circuit ID default format, VLAN mod port. Oh, that's a circuit ID. So up here, DHCP discover. What's a good way to collapse all these dang options without having to click the little arrow thingies? DHCP discover. Circuit ID is, again, VLAN 0001 0002. Is that it? Not going to worry my little head over that too much. Oh, excuse me. Option 82 on untrusted port is not allowed. Okay. Interesting. So, because you could have a server here acting as a relay. Okay, I could see how that would be useful. DHCP offer. Who's this coming from, by the way? 25.1, that's our PNet 0 port. Bootstrap protocol offer. All right, so let's save this. That was a good lesson, I think. We're not too concerned. Let's see. I want to capture the pack. I want to save the packet actually that has the option 82. The others are not really of that much interest. That one does not have it. And this one should have it. Yep, that's one we'll mark. Okay, so we'll stop that and we'll do a export. Mark packets, and this is DHCP option 82, DHCP snooping. Okay, cool. All right, let's clear out some windows. Yay, I love clearing out windows. Clear. Clear. Okay. Cool. Good lab. Moving right along to IP source guard. Yeah, I've never labbed snooping or source guard or any of these. And of course, this prevents spoofing layer 2 interfaces. When IP source guard is enabled, all traffic is blocked except DHCP packets. Once those gets, only DHCP assigned source IP is permitted. And you can also configure static binding, right? So, of course, it relies on DHCP snooping database. And what we're going to do here is we have our DHCP, which I'm just going to say is this NAT cloud. We have our Linux server, router 1 and router 2. We're going to pretend this is the router 2 is going to be the hacker. And what we're going to do is all right, host 1. Okay, this is DHCP. This is not DHCP. That's how we're going to distinguish our hacker from the one that's not a hacker. We're going to say IP address 255.11. We'll make this 192.168.205.21. And he really wants to think about that. He does, okay. Ping 192.168.205.1. Okay, cool. All right. So again, IP source guard really relies on DHCP snooping. It, you know, that's how it determines who is legitimate and who is not. Okay, R1 assigns IP address with DHCP. Okay, we also want to make the server, in this case, which is a Linux box, we want to make him static. Very similar to the real world, right? So we're going to say wired connection 1. I did not want to disconnect you. No. So this guy's going to be 192.168.205.100. Okay. That's a little messed up. Save. Dang, 192.168.205. Did you not change it? Oh, come on. It's gonna make me do. Manual, yes. Save. Close. Disconnect. Connect. There you go. Okay, cool. So yeah, our server is static IP. This client is static IP. I think what it's going to have us do is this will be trusted because, well, it will be allowed because it's going to be learned through DHCP Snooping. And this one will add a static entry for. This one we won't. We'll say this is a hacker. So okay, so let's go back to our switch. I think we still have DHCP Snooping turned on. Yep, for VLAN 1. And we're going to trust we're actually going to trust the router. Sorry, we're going to trust the which I think we already have it trusted. Yeah, IP DHCP Snooping trust. Okay, we're trusting our DHCP server. Okay, we have our bindings, right? So if we do show IP source binding. Okay, we'll probably clear one of these bindings in a minute. Okay, and where we're going to turn source guard on is host 1. Wait a second. Yeah, 04. Okay, right, we trust that. And we want to, yeah, so for this host, which we're going to be router 1 as a host, we're going to turn on IP verify source. So GI01. IP verify source. Do show IP verify source. Okay, active IP address, IP filter type IP, VLAN 1. Okay, and now it will basically only permit this IP for this host. MAC address is empty. So switch only checks the source IP address. Oh yeah, this all right. So this is an interesting, and this is important for the written exam, right? And for who knows, maybe the lab, I don't know. But right now, as we can see, if we do show IP verify source, and I'm going to do a screenshot of this because this is good. It is only going to check what? The IP address on this port, right? Now, what if we want to check the MAC address? The IP against this MAC address. So right now it's just IP and port. what we want to say IP MAC and port, we do this IP verify source port security. And now if we do which is interesting, right? Normally you think of port security as the port security command. Right now it says MAC address permit. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, let me look at the command. Show run interface j01 IP verify source port security. Okay. MAC address permit all. Okay. That's probably because it's already trusted, I would imagine. So it says interface j01 filter type. Notice that changed. Filter type was IP, now it's IP and MAC. Filter mode active. IP address, oh, because it's already in the binding. The reason is it's already in the snooping database, right? So show IP DHCP binding. Show IP DHCP snooping. And then what was the other command? Oh, show IP source binding. Show IP source binding. Interesting. All right. So actually, let's look at our new command. These are new commands for me. We have show IP DHCP snooping. Then we have show IP DHCP binding. Nope, that's not it. I'm trying to get a good screen cap here. Sorry, folks. Always got to go for the good screen caps. Okay, so these are the bindings. And then show IP verify source. There you go. So interesting, it has the lease time in here. Because we've been running snooping for a while. Okay, I don't think it always gets like the red ring of death in the, there we go. So let's do this. Is there a way to clear a binding? Clear, oops, what? Window management issues. Clear IP verify, no. Oh, clear IP DHCP snooping information. Snooping binding. Interface. Ah, that's cool. So we can get down pretty granular here. Yeah, I want to clear the binding that is used over here for R2. So now show IP verify source, no, IP source binding. Aha, okay, so it's cleared. And it is using a static address. So now, and we should be able to ping, right? Ping. Did this guy log out on me? So bad, so bad. Ping 192.168.5.11. Interesting. So is that because he's not trusted anymore? One or two, let's say 255.11. If config ping 192.168.255.1. Okay, I can ping the gateway. Interesting. IP show IP interface brief. Okay, you got it from DHCP. He's trusted. He's bound. Show IP verify source. Permit all. So what's the story here? So in other words, this is pretty much let's clear. Let's do a shut. No shut. Okay, it's got permit all, so ping 192.168.255.1. All right, let's so see, I'm thinking in my mind that this is a port by port function, so all right, debug IP verify source packet. Jazz00, Jazz01. Wow, so this, I'm not sure what's happening here, but is this an image issue or something? Let's turn it on for the other ports here. Show run interface Jazz00. IP DHCP Snooping trust. Oh, okay. I missed something. Interface Jazz01. Switch port security. Okay, without this command, okay, that. Assuming that was a problem. Receive port security packet, receive VLAN 1, consume flag 0, handle flag 1. Validate port security packet, receive validate. That looks good, right? Validate port security packet. All right. Cállate. Cállate. That's enough spam. All right. DHCP security switch. Receive port security packet. Receive port jet. Receive VLAN 1. Consume flag. Show IP verify source. Okay, so this is interesting. IP and MAC. This MAC is allowed. This IP is allowed, but it's still not allowing the traffic through. Wait, did I just see it? Nope. No IP verify source. Yeah. Let me look down here at the bottom at the answers, all the way down at the bottom of the... All right, let's do a manual binding. IP source binding 55,000 dot 27 0002 0000 VLAN 1 192 168 205 11 interface jet 01. The ego. All right, cleaning up and working 12-minute night work. Yay, listening in the background. Hey, man. It's 12 a.m. where you're at? So where are we? 10? 8? Glad you're listening in the background, man. Appreciate it. Hope your work goes well. Good old ego in the house. Now there's no verify source, so weird. So this binding works. Show run interface jet 01. That's odd. So, all right, so let's assume that worked. It's just weird. I think that's something to do with the image, maybe. No, just have work starting. Oh, gosh. Man, you're about to start. Okay. Wow. Good luck, my friend. Hope all goes well. I actually like the Thursday. I tell you, of all the nights I would want to do a change or have to go into work and change some things, Thursday nights to me are the best. Or in your case, Friday at 8 a.m. IP SLAs and all that. Yep, absolutely. Because I would rather see problems. A lot of people say, oh, well, can we do this? Can we schedule this for over the weekend? And it depends, of course, on your business and your schedule. But the problem with that is that the last time slot where you want to be troubleshooting any kind of problems is a Monday morning. And no matter what sort of testing or verification you do after a change or after work that you do on the network, you never fully can. I mean, depends on how much you can automate or what the change is, but you can never truly fully know until everybody comes back into work, right? If you're a traditional, sort of office hours type of business. And even where I work, the hours are not traditional. We have people working 24/7, but not as many in the late hours. So, or in the early hours. I just fell over multiple VPN and BGP cluster ID changes. The routing made some changes. Already made some changes in other markets. Okay, good deal. Yeah. So hopefully it's routine, man. Hopefully it's routine. But yeah, you can never really know until people start using the service again. And for some companies, that means that you're not going to get a full load, like a full load test or full utilization test, until the next peak hour of service. So I would much rather that happen and discover a problem on a Friday than on a Monday. Because if you have a problem on Friday, then at least in a lot of cases anyway, you have better vendor support. So if you have to escalate it to a manufacturer of a piece of equipment or something like that, or someone, an SFP manufacturer, something like that, you're always going to get better support typically on a Friday than on the weekend. So sometimes on the weekend you might get you got to get somebody out of bed, or they get out of their at the theater and they have to leave. You never know. So usually on a Friday, they might be a little more laid back, but they also have the same interest, getting the problem resolved before the weekend. So that's why I've always liked Thursday nights, and you tend to get a heavier load and you can work through the problems. And of course, nobody is supposed to make changes on Friday in most businesses, right? Most traditional sort of office hours. You're not supposed to make changes on Friday, but so that's even less that could go wrong. So that's why Thursday nights are my favorite. When I say favorite, is usually my choice, if I have any choice in the matter of when to make changes, and even some of the bigger changes, as long as, now sometimes, depends on if you're talking major work, it might have to be on a weekend, right? But I try to avoid that at all costs. So yeah, good luck tonight. Here you go. Hopefully it's routine and everything works the way you expect it. And you only get good bits, my friend. We're sending you good bits tonight. I always empathize with people who, hey, Big Abe, how are you, my friend? I always empathize with people who are going into battle, even if it's a small light dusting, because I always want it to go well for them, I've come in Mondays sometimes, and I tend to not look at my email on the weekends, my work email. People who need me, they know how to get a hold of me, they know how to call me. So I always feel bad, man, when I come in on a Monday morning and I see 1,000 emails and all these alert messages, and I find out that one of my coworkers was up, the other person that was on call, not me, or one of the other people, that was in the rotation, and they had to work all through the night. And, I'm glad it's not me, but in a way also I feel bad for them because we're kind of a close-knit team, and I'm like, oh man, I hated for that person. That looked rough. All right, so this is interesting. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go to a router that we know we don't want them to be able to communicate, because so this is router 2, and he has a statically assigned IP. He can currently ping the DHCP server just fine. What we want to do is make him basically illegitimate, right? So we're going to go to GI02, interface GI02, They're going to say switch port security and IP verify source port security. So what we have here is we don't have any binding. And boom, he just went to deny all. So, sorry, buddy. And he should not be able to do anything because, and why is it denied? Because the only binding we have, and this is static, notice that, we added this, the lease is infinite. Huh, your lease is infinite. By the way, do we have this configured on here? No, we don't. Interface jazz 01, IP verify source. Oh, we want interface jazz 01, IP verify source port security. So now if we do show IP verify source, okay, so if there whatever's filled in here, that's what's permitted. That's the MAC address and this IP address. And he's deny all. So theoretically, ping, let's do the same ping. And then ping 192.168.205.1. He cannot ping either, and I'm not sure. You know what? Let's do a PCAP. Let's see what the heck is going on here. I try not to be too hasty to blame an image issue, but this is kind of a low-level function of the switch image, and I've never done this lab before on the viral images. So you know what we could do? I don't think I have another switch image though, unfortunately. All right, so let's look at the inbound traffic from, let's do these pings again. From router 1. Why is it yellow? Oh, no response seen, yeah. So look at the source and the Ethernet source. 50.0.0.0.0.2.0.0.0. Yeah. So I don't know what switch one's problem here is. Show VLAN brief. I think these are all VLAN 1. Yeah. So I don't know, folks. I mean, this is what it says here. Do I still have the binding? Show run binding. Let's put the binding in. Oh, this is router 1. Sorry. Yeah, we even have a manual binding here, IP source binding. VLAN 1 IP address. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if this changes. 192.168.205.50. I can't ping myself. Oh, line protocol stay. Let's see. Interface VLAN 1 no shut. Okay, ping 192.168, 50. Okay. Now let's see if he can ping. Weird. Okay. All right, let's try source guard over here. We're going to turn him back to DHCP, so he should get a binding here, automatic. Save. If down en0. Hope everybody can see that. Oh, if down ENS3. Yeah, this is weird. It's like it doesn't. This actually works better when you peel it off and resize the window, I've noticed. Let's disable and then re-enable. Okay, so he should now have show IP source binding. .10 was learned from DHCP Snooping, so that's good. 00. Oh, do I have the wrong IP here? Address. I have the right MAC. Yeah, that's correct. 5000. Okay. So this is now learned from DHCP Snooping. So now if we go to interface jet03, switch port security, IP verify source port security. Show IP verify source. Okay, so this now looks just like this. And it should be able to ping the gateway. You cannot, huh? All right, let's turn off the port security. Let's see, do show run interface 01. No switch port security, and no, and let's just do IP verify source. Okay. Yeah, that's strange. So this must be something with the image then, I guess. Because even the static binding doesn't work. The feature looks like it's working correctly. Yeah, look, it took the MAC address off, which is cool. That's what we want. All right, I'm going to try one more thing here. We're going to do a write. And we are going to shut her down. And let me put a little switch here. Or like a hub, really. See if that makes a difference, just for grins. It's a lab. We can break whatever we want, right? GI00, yes. And this, you know what? I remember now that this is really that's a feature of Community Edition, not, or Pro, not Community Edition. So I have to shut this down too. Keep forgetting about that. I got spoiled. So let's stop. Oh, now I really screwed it up. Okay. We have an orphan. Oh, that's a shape? No, I know what I did. Shoot. Yeah, I hosed it. Okay, let's close this. Those are our little rogue window babies over here. There we go. Jeez. All right. Yeah, it doesn't like when you do that. Okay, so now let's try this and this. Start. Okay, that's the last thing we'll try on that, most likely. We'll just see if that works. And the last three items, I'll probably close out the stream here in a moment after this finishes. And yeah, I need to be getting ready. Probably go work out in the morning, so need to get ready for that. Ready for bed here soon, and I'll continue doing some reading. The last, so tonight we covered DHCP Snooping, IP Source Guard, and then tomorrow I'll probably be covering ARP poisoning, dynamic ARP inspection, port security, and PVLAN. Ooh, PVLAN, interesting. Not my favorite, but you know, we don't pick favorites here. The exam certainly doesn't. The real exam. And we'll get ready to close that. A couple meat chunks while that's coming up. This is a cool... I do want to do this at some point when I have a little more time. Even G and Ansible. So someone did a good blog of how to do this. And I put those in Discord, I believe. And then case management. So this came out of something funny we're working on at my job, where we're talking about... I did not realize there were so many different case formats. Oh, why did that other link? That's kind of annoying. That other link is trolling me. There we go. Yeah, naming conventions, and we're talking about this. And you know, JSON, like when you're working in Azure and you're using, you're doing templating, which, you know, lately I've been doing a lot of templating, and they're JSON template formats. And JSON uses, well, at least encourages what's called the Pascal case. No, sorry, camel case. So it tends to use camel case, and then I realized later on, like I guess I've always used a mix of parsed and snake case, generally snake case. But I like all like lower case, and I use underscores or hyphens. Sorry, that's different. So whether you use underscores or hyphens is one thing. But yeah, there's a lot of different formats here, which is actually human readable, all lowercase. Kebab case, yeah. So I tend to use a mix of kebab and snake case when I name files or strings or whatever. So interesting stuff. Over to check that out. There's a lot of people who you know, work on defining what all those are. Ooh, I got a crash. Did y'all see that? Oh man, I wish I could have trying to think if I ever crashed a switch. So I have crashed this image before. I have crashed it doing, I'm trying to think of what lab it was. I think when you do BFD, oh, look at that. There it is. So maybe this lab, so I have crashed a router doing BFD with IP redirects turned on. But I did not get a crash dump. Like this thing is rebooting. This is wild. Let's see if it does. Let's see if it does it again. It might do it a couple of times, and I may just. CPU exception occurred. Wow, signal bus. Crash info. I don't think we'll ever get that crash info because. Ooh. Wow, that was interesting. All right, so let's do this. I really screwed up this switch here. So there's a couple things you can do in this situation in Eve. One is you could just reboot your lab, but I think it has a problem booting up with one of those configurations. Maybe it was a static binding. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is wipe the node. Actually, let's find out which one it was. We can go to startup configs. And we can actually edit it. I want to bet you. Oh yeah, this is from yesterday, so it doesn't have any of my changes in the startup config. Okay, that's fine. We're going to leave that as it was. And we're just going to boot to the startup config. Wipe. All right, node was wiped. Now let's see what it says here. Okay, so white means it should go back to the startup config. That's kind of cool. I never really wanted to crash it, but oh, look at that. I've started noticing these symbols because the other day I opened, I copied a UNL file, which is a lab file. I copied that really big 64 router file to another instance of to like a new VM, and a lot of these came up with like triangles, so I haven't figured out what that is yet, but interesting. Okay, so now let me try to put this config back. And see if it crashes again. So, IP, let's see, config term, IP DHCP Snooping VLAN 1. No IP DHCP Snooping formation option. IP DHCP Snooping. And interface JS01. port mode, access, switch port, security, switch port, spanning tree, port fast, IP verify, source, port, security. Interface GS02, switch port mode, access, switch spanning tree, port fast, switch port security, IP verify, source, port security. And we also need to trust this interface, GS00. We need to say IP DHCP Snooping trust. All right. Interface GS00, no shut. All right, so you should get an IP address. Oh, we got it again. Check it out. Boom. Nice. All right, well, I think we'll leave the lab there. Ooh, I can do command line. Check this out, folks. I didn't know you could do... Wow, I did not know you could do this on the on this image. Man, maybe now we can hack into the military database. Where's my crash dump? Crypto mount, cut mem, date, drive map, dump. No address specified. Oh yeah, this is a low level here. Chain loader, background image, backtrace. Wow. So this must be like just your basic commands, because this thing runs Linux, right? This switch image. So this is some basic kernel commands you can run, I guess, that we came across by accident. Oh well. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up there because I got to get ready. I'd love to keep playing, but I wish everybody a great Friday night. I will not be streaming tomorrow night, but I will be streaming. You know, that's my night off from streaming. We'll be studying, though, and Saturday we're going to try to finish up the... we really need to finish all of security. So ARP, DAI, port security, PVLANs, access list, man. Yeah, we're going to have to really jam on Saturday to try to finish this, because then I have just next week to finish infrastructure services, which is a lot. So we'll get through what we can. Thanks so much, folks, for hanging out. Appreciate all the support from the community. Wishing everybody the best in their plans or changes, whatever the case may be that you're working on. And we shall see you back here soon in the LAN Tamer stream. Have a good night.